Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Hots or Shots. I'm your host Johnny Clearwater, and my special guest today is Papa Pepper. I've been waiting to do this one. As a matter of fact, when I decided I want to do the show, you're the first person I reached out to. And when you agreed, I knew I was in. I was going for it. So how you doing, man?
Doing good. Good drive up. Excited to be here. Looking forward to it.
It's exciting to meet you. I'm glad you're here. For it. Before we get started with everything, do you want to let them know a little bit about yourself? I know a lot of people know who you are already, but we get new users every day.
Right. So I'm just some random guy from offline who heard there was an interesting place online to check out. And since then I jumped in almost 2 years ago. Been having a great time on Steemit. Live in the middle of nowhere with my family. Try to raise some animals, grow some crops, and live my own version of freedom. That's about it.
What do you post the most about?
Whatever's happening.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, you're a homesteader, so I see a lot of your posts have to do with what you got going on there and your animals.
Right.
You have I've seen you do a couple contests occasionally.
Right.
Steampocalypse, was that one of them?
Steampocalypse was.
I got mad because I'd always see your post pop up in my feed, but it was never the first chapter, so I never got to get in.
Right. Yeah, I like to run contests and have reasons for people to come and engage, and then also I've done pretty well, so if I can do things that give back, even just in crypto rewards to other people, I think it's a great chance for them to get excited.
When I first joined, it was when you were still doing all of your guide videos, and I watched all of them, and that's how I learned the ropes.
Okay.
I tell people it depends on what your style is. If you'd rather read, go check out Psycho Chica's guides, because I mean she's fantastic with that. But like if you want to watch, that, and that's how I like to absorb content. So yeah, somebody said go check out this guy.
No wonder you got your own show now. Listened to me.
I did. I watched all your stuff. It's how I learned the ropes and realized, wow, there really is. Some people will tell, there's a lot of mixed emotions on the platform right now in regards to if legit content creators are going to really be able to make it. And, someone like you inspired me to know, yeah, we absolutely can. Do you have to potentially spend some money to get there? Absolutely. I mean, you don't necessarily have to, but if you want to hit home runs, it's advertising dollars. You got to put in on yourself if you expect other people to. And but yeah, this was my thing, and you were the first person I hit up. And
wow.
I'm glad that your episode. This is episode 14 we're filming right now.
Okay.
So it'll be a little bit before it airs, but
I don't know if I just don't pay attention, but I don't think I knew either of those two things.
So a real quick disclaimer. Papa Pepper, you quit drinking about nine years ago?
Just over 9 years ago now, yeah.
So we won't be following the standard format of a coin flip. I am always willing to make exceptions for specific people, not everyone. But obviously, if you quit drinking 9 years ago, we're just going to do hots. Besides, what really else can you do with Papa Pepper?
Hots.
Peppers.
That's right.
We're gonna fuck it up. You made a special treat today too, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I just took some jalapenos, trying to do a play on some sort of stuffed pepper. Start with some heat already, and then we'll add the hot sauce to that. So.
I thought I was glad I reached out to you and was like, let's plan something. Let's do this.
Right. Now you get your first chance to try turkey bacon.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that nastiness at all, to be honest with you.
We'll see.
I mean, it's going to be slathered with hot shit. So I mean, after the first couple, I don't think we'll taste it. I won't taste it. Hopefully. I'm not 39 years old, man. I've made it this far without turkey bacon. So
I think I was 36.
Fucking crashing my world down on me. But so we're gonna go get set up with food, and we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor.
Just hit a button, Morty.
What are you doing?
A C.
And we're back. We got these tasty snacks laid out in front of us. These look fantastic, and they also equally look terrifying. Layered with all these sauces.
It's like a good meal.
It's going to be interesting. I see you got your eggnog. You're ready to roll. So we eat it first, and then we go into the questions.
Sounds good.
Left to right, man. Remember G Love from the 90s?
Yeah.
So this is
Special sauce.
This is G Love's special sauce. That is tasty. No, I don't taste that fake bacon at all.
Tasty.
If you could go back in time and tell one person, other than yourself, one thing, what would it be?
That's not the pre-approved question from my PR guy.
Yeah, he sent those cards over and I chucked all of those.
Tell Abraham Lincoln to lay off the theater, I guess.
Yeah, that would
I
be your
think
choice.
so.
Keep him running in office a little bit longer.
I think so. Well, the Jesuits would get him eventually, but
I don't know if I'd want. It depends. I guess it depends on how far back I could go, or if you get that option even.
yeah. Well, I was thinking just tell Adam don't eat it, but he didn't listen to God. Why is he going to listen to me?
And I can't tell myself anything, so I'd probably have to like try to shoot for. No, it's like I'm thinking to myself, I could go back in time and tell my wife to start investing in Bitcoin as soon as you hear about it. But if she made all that money, there's a really good chance she wouldn't have married me.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. I don't have a straight shot answer for that one.
Wait, you can pass?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not. You can't pass.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the one who has to answer them.
Right.
I like to retort a little bit sometimes, but. All right, so we're gonna move right on to the next one. The next one is Secret Aardvark.
Secret Aardvark.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. I put this on all kinds of stuff at home. It's great sauce.
Cumin.
That's the next one. These peppers are great, man.
I'm looking forward to getting some hot sauces here. We've had some tasty sauces, but
If the world was ending tomorrow, so you have no consequences for your actions, what do you do for the day?
well, I'd drive up here to keep my commitments, and then probably just go hang out with the wife and kids.
Man, that was better than Winston Wolfe did.
Yeah.
Zing. Don't show up for my show, motherfucker.
Keeping commitments. Yeah, that'd
So-
be it. That'd be it.
No consequences, world's ending tomorrow. You're just going to fulfill whatever obligations you had.
Yeah. Then hang out with the family.
That would be on my list. To figure out something to just go do that's going to be amazing with the family. Maybe rob a bank too, just for fun.
For what?
For fun. Just because,
Does he get shot in the gut by some amateur security guard for fun?
well, I don't know.
I mean,
But the excitement, like something real crazy. Gotta have one last, wow, never would have done this before kind of thing. So why not? Why not a Heat-like movie, bank robbery?
with the family?
I'd let them take a consensus vote,
Okay.
I think my oldest son would give it a go. Because same thing, it's all over in a few hours, why not?
Let the littlest one be the getaway driver.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, when else are they going to get that chance?
So now you mentioned cumin, and that's this next one.
The next one.
Yeah,
huh?
this is it's heavy
There's nothing in the Secret Aardvark.
taste there. Oh, I'm not saying there's not any in it. It's just
Okay.
that this is the one you're going to taste cumin right away.
Okay.
This is another really good sauce. This is Palo Alto, and it's made by the Palo Alto firefighters. Yep, and every bit of proceeds go to their department, and it's a great sauce, and it's a great one to support. So if you're ever
Excellent.
looking for a new sauce to have around the house, this goes good on a lot of stuff.
Smells good.
Cheers.
This reminds me of why there was some time, I think, in the 90s where hot sauce replaced ketchup as the most popular condiment in the United States.
This is one I would put on steak.
Sure.
I think it's got just a nice. It's like if A1 had balls.
Sure.
It would be
Besides
this.
just raisins?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be this. Got a little bit of heat on that one.
We do.
I'm not sure if the heat that I'm getting at the moment's the pepper too. I don't know why.
Well, I would have went with
I don't know why I thought this would
Serrano's.
be a good idea. It tastes good though. What's the worst advice you've ever gotten?
Well, I did get some advice a while ago while I was waiting on figuring out how to get a house, build a house. And some guy's like, "Why don't you just get a bunch of credit cards?" He says, "Build your house on them and then declare bankruptcy." He's like, "You'll be bankrupt, but they can't take your house like they would with a bank loan." I didn't take the advice, but that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that's good advice at all.
Yeah.
So the second part of this is what's the worst advice you've ever given?
Worst advice I've ever given. Well, if you ask Zach from American Homestead, when I talked about maybe picking up some Z Classic because they were coming up in the Bitcoin private fork.
Right.
I don't know what Bitcoin private's probably about $20 right now, and Z Classic's probably about $5. And as they headed up towards the end of it, approached about $200 each. So that would not be a good investment.
A lot of us bought Z Classic. A lot of us. We're all holding some Bitcoin private right now.
But did you ever advise anyone else? I don't think I was giving advice. I was just talking about what I
don't
specifically said it wasn't advice, actually.
I really don't advise anybody in regards to investments. I mean, if I'm getting a back end cut, maybe I'd consider it. But otherwise, I look at it like you're responsible to do all of your own research.
Right.
Why would I just listen to you or you or you? And because we can all be wrong.
Sure.
And just because maybe you've gotten lucky before, it doesn't mean that you've read a single fucking white paper.
Sure. Right.
If you know that this project is legit, I mean, obviously we're referencing coin at the moment, but it doesn't matter what kind of investment. You do your own research. So, like, I've had people ask, "What do you recommend?" And I'm like, "I recommend you go fucking read something, dude."
Right. And don't risk more than
I'm
you're
not a
willing
big
to lose.
advice giver, to
Sure.
be honest with you. I'm a fend for yourself kind of guy. Survival of the fittest. That's just how I am. So, like, I mean, my kids don't count. You give them advice all day long. But outside of that, well, why would I advise you anything? I'm trying to get ahead of you, We're all trying to move up a ladder, man. If you're not, you're just sitting on rungs.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't advise people. I've had tons of terrible advice, mostly from my family. So, more or less, 80% of anything that's ever come out of their mouth would be my answer to that.
Really bad
the worst
advice.
advice. Because your family never knows what the fuck they're talking about. They just want you to go burning down in the shit with them.
To me, if somebody's screwing up their own life, they don't need to be screwing up mine.
No, I mean, there are some people I'd take advice from in a heartbeat. If Mark Cuban wanted to sit down with me and give me some advice, yeah, that's a keeper. People that have really proven themselves. But with crypto as a great example, that's all just research, period. You know what I mean? It's a very, very speculative market. So even the smartest decision makers that have become filthy rich, nobody's asking them to show them how much have you lost in all that time also.
Right.
Because your richest people out there tell you, I've lost just as much as I've made, sometimes more. You got to play that game. But all right. So this next one is I think it's one of your favorite type of peppers. Actually, this is a fatali.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. So this
Good.
is a Sinclair's fatali sauce. It's a Pennsylvania company, and they source all their ingredients from local farmers in Pennsylvania.
Good.
So
I
it's a
miss
nice-
having those in my garden. They were one of my favorites.
When you had said you liked fatali, I was like, oh, dude, I know you
It's got the right smell. I love that.
These snacks ended up being a little bigger than I actually thought they would be. I've completed the first 3. I might not be able to down all of them. I got all the sauce. I'll get all that part off. But
I tried to make them small enough, but I wanted them to be able to hold something.
yeah, we're definitely going to get. This is a meal. This is definitely going to be a meal. Name something from the present that you believe will withstand the test of time.
It's so open-ended. Can you give me an example of something from the present?
I think for me, because I have some experience in it, is VR, AR, mixed reality. We've only just scratched the surface of what it's capable of doing, and I think we're looking at decades and decades worth of that just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, the more capable they're going to allow people to really detach from the world and go into this reality that they want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be something that's really going to go down in the books. It's like, wow, that was a game changer.
Sure.
But I have experience with it, which is part of the reason why I'm fairly fucking confident that that's going to... I'd love to say crypto, but fuck if we know. That could be gone in a decade. The governments could just be like, yeah, fuck all that. There's going to be crypto, it's ours, and everything else is illegal.
Right.
So that's... But I've got a lot of experience so far and played around in VR and mixed reality, and, you know, I know what its capabilities are, and we're not even close to it. So yeah, I think that for me, that would be my answer.
Sure.
Something from the present.
Right.
You know. Yeah, that's what my approach would be.
I think I don't put a lot of faith or confidence in much. You know, even the power grid being up, other things, stuff. So it's hard to kind of answer. Because although we've been on a nice continuum for a while, at any point that could just be completely over with, I believe. And that's part of why I'm trying to live the life I am and just have some plants and animals and food and stuff available. And worst case scenario, I live. You know.
So maybe like something like off the grid living could be an answer for you.
Sure.
Or sustainable renewable energy sources, things like that.
See, but I think those are things that exist in the present. But
They
I think
won't last.
Well, I think that their origin is older. You know, I could pick something ancient that's still here now and believe it'll be there in the future, but I was kind of looking for more of something new.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, it's interpretation on how you take the question yourself.
I like the ones my PR guy sent better.
Yeah, I
Give the sick children puppies.
Yeah.
I had that answer. Yeah, it's the third one.
Yeah, fuck your PR guy, dude. They sent it over, and I said, look, he's already agreed to do the show, so...
Okay, what was the second question? I'm going back. I'm not going to keep my obligations. I'm going to hang out with my family instead.
You should have brought them. I totally thought you were going to bring the fam today.
I know.
I'm really glad I didn't tell my son that there were kids coming, because he would have been so disappointed. Because you said you were bringing the fam.
I said we were thinking about coming up as a family.
It's fine, though. It's totally cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you know. But it would have been nice to meet all of them.
If we go snake hunting in Florida, we'll bring the family.
Cool.
My boy, he's great alligator bait anyway.
He's the youngest?
No, the older one. He knows if you don't wiggle, they won't come.
Gotcha.
So when I lure him in the water, he starts wiggling.
All right, man. So we're going to keep moving here.
Yeah.
So this next one, it's one of my newest sauces. This is the purple hippo hot sauce. This is the one that's made with the prickly pear.
I've heard good things about this one.
It's nice. I like it. It was a great addition to the Hotzer Shots family. So cheers.
These are tasty treats.
Spent a lot of time picking these sauces, man. I'll tell you that.
You did good. I should have
That beginning flavor is so subtle.
loaded some of these peppers for you. I used to get Pekin peppers. They look like a little red Tic Tac.
Okay.
Like if we used to get like a Little Caesar's pizza, I'd lift a pepperoni, shove it underneath there, and like give it to my mother-in-law or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'll
been
have to
there,
write
done
that
that.
down.
Yeah, it's
Just remember
great.
that. Yeah, that one's got such a sweet start. And like, bang, I can feel the heat coming on from it now. It's like, wow, that'll trick you a little bit.
I like ones where they're tasty enough you want to keep eating them, but they're hot enough where you know you should stop, and you just sit there and you battle and lose against yourself no matter which way you go.
Yeah, I agree. What's the stupidest way you've ever hurt yourself?
Well, I got kicked in the face by a sheep the other day. Johnny Clearwater, our ram.
Nice.
The stupidest way I've ever hurt myself, though, would have to be when I was in elementary school. They were building a new playground, so they had the platform up. You know, and there was no slides or things coming off yet, and we had just been in science class watching about the flying snakes. You know, like certain snakes, they'll climb up a tree, and when they take off, they'll bend their body in a way that they can soar through the air, and they kind of use their tail as a rudder. They can glide tree to tree, clear quite a distance. Well, I'm not designed the same way a flying snake is, but I just went outside to the thing, and I laid down on the platform, and I tried to pull myself off over the edge so I could glide across, the playground like a flying snake. And I pulled myself over the edge, and straight down headfirst into thankfully it was sawdust, wood chips. Hit that, didn't break my neck, didn't die, that type of stuff. Couldn't talk for the first couple minutes, it was
Shock, yeah.
it was bad. But I mean, I can't think of something stupider I've done other than ripping off a drug dealer and getting pistol whipped and stuff like that.
Well, see, now that's a good example of that was stupid.
That was fake tooth, bruises against the temple.
I read your post about that.
Yeah, scar under my eye. That was dumb too.
Yeah, that was it was risky. You were living a lifestyle that the risk factor didn't seem as.
Yeah, and, when all of a sudden there's a pistol against your head, I thought, great, now I got to deal with this. I mean, it wasn't oh no, it was great, now I got to deal with this. So at the time, I was a little less careful, less full of care.
I got shit-faced in New Orleans. I lived in New Orleans for a chunk of years.
Me too.
I lived right outside the French Quarter in the Garden District, right off St. Charles.
Okay.
And I worked in the French Quarter late nights. Would get hammered after work for hours. I was really fucking skunked, and I just decided that I wasn't 100% sure where I was, but I knew if I followed the river, the river would take me all the way up to the St. Thomas Projects, which I lived directly on the other side of. So I figured, fuck it, that's how I'll walk home then. Not thinking that a skinny white kid at 5 o'clock in the morning, shit-faced drunk, is going to be walking through the projects. Yeah, that was a dumb decision. That bit me in the ass.
Yeah.
I got jumped. I had my shoes stolen right off my feet. I think they beat me up even a little bit worse because I had no money. Because I did live there, so I knew better.
That's disappointment.
Yeah, you know not to carry money if you live there. There's an ATM absolutely everywhere. You just pull it out when you're going to spend it. So yeah, because I didn't have anything to offer, I got my ass handed to me and took my shoes and everything. So that was a stupid fucking decision I made. That's the only one I would say was stupid. I got seriously injured sleigh riding as a kid. But that wasn't fucking stupid. That was, it wasn't like I did anything wrong. The stupid thing there was trusting my mother in the purchase of this disc sled she fucking bought me, this death trap.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, because you can't control those things.
There's no steering.
I went spinning and right into a fucking tree, shattered all kinds of shit in my leg. But I wasn't stupid. We were just having, definitely walking through the projects by myself, drunk. I was not my smartest moment. But I got home.
Yeah, you made it.
Yeah, I got home. My directional skills were correct. Just, what are you going to do? Lucky dog. So we got through the first half.
Yeah.
You like everything so far?
Yeah, I did.
Tastes are nice. This is Lucky Dog. We got about 2 more sauces before it just starts to go downhill. Let's just do it, man. Let's just cruise on.
That's it? Lucky Dog? There's nothing more about it?
Yeah, I think fire roasted Trinidad scorpion peppers.
Scorpion's good. I like those.
Trinidad scorpion.
Yeah.
I don't usually talk much about this particular one because since I revamped my lineup,
Yeah.
it's kind of like my least favorite now.
I got nothing off it, really.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the heat is there, but there's no... Wow, that was a really good... I think it's one I'm going to eventually find a replacement for.
Sure.
It was great prior,
Sure.
with my old lineup, but I think I've done really good selecting some newer ones and getting some really good flavors. And this is missing just that.
I think anytime you're dealing with that whole realm, scorpion peppers, the Reaper, ghost peppers, the Fatale, they've all got that certain edge and flavor and stuff there, but I couldn't even really taste that in that one.
Yeah.
Which has become like my happy place. It's home to me because a lot of those hottest peppers, that's where they're at.
If you were arrested today with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you did?
So I think they'd probably give me the benefit of the doubt and just figured I was doing what I normally do and somebody finally had a problem with it or something like that, as opposed to robbing a bank like you would or something like that.
Yeah, but my friends and family wouldn't assume that that's what I did.
No. Well, they would after watching this interview.
They would probably think it was definitely something alcohol related. Like he got drunk and did something stupid. That's probably what they would assume. And there would be a good chance they'd be right.
Sure.
You know, I don't really, outside of this show, I really don't drink at all like I used to. I used to love to drink. And I still have one every now and then. And like one, I mean a bottle.
Sure.
But no, for the most part, this show, what I'm doing now is all the alcohol I fucking need. You know, that's 10 shots each time. It's like I did 3 shots episodes this week, man. Fucking, I'm not gonna need to have another drink for a month, easy. Let my body recover.
Right.
But I think if I were just picked up and arrested out of the blue and nobody knew what happened, my friends and family would probably assume he got drunk and did something dumb.
I guess it's been so long since I've been arrested, I forget what reasons they used to even say they did it for.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, how was living in New Orleans and drinking a lot then?
So that was interesting. That was actually when and how I became an alcoholic.
Okay.
I was a big pot smoker then, and I moved to this city, and I could absolutely get pot every day, but it was one of those like it might take 6 hours before I'd be able to find a bag of weed. I could walk out my door and be fall down drunk in 30 minutes, and that was it. It was just a trade-off. And then when you live there and you work there and you're in the French Quarter, that's just how everybody lives. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was a lot of alcohol.
Sure.
But it just didn't seem like it. But that was the only time that, you know, I don't think of myself as an alcoholic. I know that some people, if they knew everything 100% about me, would be like, yeah, you're a fucking alcoholic. It's like, no, not really. You know, I had moments. But that was also, again, it was fucking New Orleans. That's just living there. It's not, you know.
Right. See, because I wound up in New Orleans because I moved out of Madison, Wisconsin, kind of to a smaller town because I was just spending so much time doing so many drugs. I was trying to cool off a bit, and then I got invited to New Orleans, and I had no idea what I was getting involved in. I didn't know you could drink on the streets, you could drink in cars, the bars never closed. You know,
the movie theater.
Any of that stuff, I'm like...
Full liquor bars at the movie theater.
I had no clue. And the first thing I realized is, you know, if they had this where I come from, everyone I know would be dead. Because we did a pretty good job up there anyway, you know, when there was limits on this stuff. And then, yeah, I just dove in deeper, you know, just continue with the life I was living.
Well, I mean, it was even like, you know, I worked in restaurants then, and we're working really late nights, and even the owners, they just come in and bring you drinks, get you drunk, keep you working all fucking night. Like, it was just that regular that that's when you go, that wasn't really alcoholism. That's
we
just
had a Abita and stuff on tap that you could drink the whole time. So
Abita Purple Haze was my favorite Abita.
Yeah,
Turbo Dog is too hoppy for me, but that Purple Haze, I still drink that every once in a while. My wife likes that a lot too. Yeah. All right, we're gonna keep on moving. This is Rogue. This is another one of my new ones. Yeah, this is the Blood Orange. This is the flavor it kicks off.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is another one of the tricky ones that comes in after. It tricks you with the nice sweetness first, and then the heat builds up behind it. Great sauce, though. Love this one. Just about everybody that's had it has really enjoyed it. Jacob was already kind of losing his mind at this point.
Really?
But everybody else has liked it.
Poor guy.
Wow. Let me tell you. It's going to be one of the best episodes, though.
Yeah.
Like, just in straight reaction. I mean, a lot of people are going to enjoy the guests that I'm having on. But this guy had us all dying. Fucking absolute lunatic. And, yeah, he was losing it here at the end. He compared this last sauce to a tank full of angry orphans.
Yeah. That all live there together.
Yeah. Lemonade Desert. I mean, he was out there. Great. I can't wait to be able to air that. Yeah, my mouth's a little warm now. These last 3, by the way.
That's where we get to it?
Yeah. I mean, you know, to an extent, I know you've got plenty of experience with some sauces. I do now too, so I don't. The first episode I did was fucking rough. I'm getting a little more accustomed to it. Remember I was telling you that the last sauce, they have another one that's like 3 times hotter than that?
Yes.
I'm getting my tolerance up to putting that on,
You know what I do? You start with something that's like second. And then you got longer reaction of everyone because they're already hurting from the beginning.
Yep.
Don't ease them into it.
What's the best Halloween costume you've ever seen?
I'd probably go back to New Orleans. One thing I noticed down there is like, because I used to have some friends on Magazine Street. There were certain parades that come by there. But if you're standing on the porch of their house, about nothing as far as stuff thrown, just standing there. But if you dress up like a luchador, a Mexican wrestler with the tight pants and the mask and the cape, you get bombarded constantly. But I think the best one was probably just a roller derby team, which was really fun. It's part of it, but that's kind of a late 80s thing, I suppose, early 90s when roller derbies were bigger, and we were actually all on roller skates, just riding around downtown and all the bars down in the quarter and stuff like that for Halloween.
That's how you got around on skates?
Yeah.
I used to go to the roller skate rink when I was a kid. I used to, so Halloween costumes are a big thing for me.
Okay.
I used to make my own all the time, and then I'd go out to the bars and clean house. Would win top prize at all these different bars every single year. It was my thing. So I mean, I could tell you some amazing things that I have made, but the best costume I ever seen in my life was this giant guy. He was fucking enormous, and he was dressed as Chewbacca, all handmade, by the way, and he had a friend who was a quadriplegic, so no arms and no legs, and he had him strapped to his back and dressed as C-3PO. So it was the most brilliant thing you've ever seen. Like, because there was how else would you be able to do that without having that friend,
Right.
So this Hulk of a guy as Chewbacca with his friend with no arms, no legs as C-3PO being hauled around blew my mind. Was just fucking mind-blowing to see. Especially like when you very first saw it too, you didn't immediately realize that was a person, and then it's like, then you're in the bar with drinking them later and, there's his stumpy
with
friend.
Your second place ribbon?
Oh my God. No, I didn't. That was actually in New Orleans also.
Okay.
No, I was way too busy with getting drunk to be worrying about doing costume contests back then. That's something that got a little older in my life. But yeah, I used to love making costume contests. I think I'd probably still do it, but it means like nights out at the bar, and I just don't really live that way anymore. If we're going out to a bar, I got to go with my wife. It's got to be, because there's a good band playing or something. It's not just to go out to get trashed and show off my amazing trashiness in Halloween costume design.
Sure. I think one of the last times I went to a bar was because a guy owed me some money. He says, well, just stop in and, so I stopped in, got my money from him, was walking past, one of my old friends was like, well, what are you doing here? I haven't seen you in forever. I said, well, I've been behaving. He said, well, what are you doing here then? I said, good point. I walked out and was done. But that'd be a good costume.
So, one downfall I'm starting to realize about these snacks is I'm getting a lot of sauce to lip contact.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Everything. I've been pretty...
You
We've
could
gotten
even
lucky.
Sideways like a cob of corn.
Nah, I mean, I'm going for it. I'll deal with it. But I've gotten lucky the last few times that the food selection we've done just worked out to just get right in and not have that attack on the face also.
See, one thing I learned during pepper poker is you got the guys who just chug milk and stuff like that, because their lips are on fire. So if you just fill your mouth and then turn your lips inside and just give them a bath in the milk, that works very good.
My go-to, if I'm eating like wings and stuff, out and about, is the celery. I take the celery, I bite one end off so I got fresh exposed, and then I use it like chapstick. That's what I do with it. I mean, that's how I home run it. Cool it right down. The celery chapstick, man.
Interesting.
It works too. I'm
I
not gonna
believe
lie.
you.
Super moist.
So what do we got next?
This is Hellfire. This is the company.
Hellfire. That starts with the same syllable as healthy. I like it.
Evil Bastard is the name of this sauce. It's a little. It's it's fucking hot. These last three are pretty hot, man.
What peppers they got in this one?
I don't know.
No.
Let's see.
Scorpion, ghost, other stuff.
Scorpion, pod peppers.
Yeah, the 7 pod.
Yep, 7 pod.
Also called-
Jalokia.
Oh, okay, that's the ghost there.
Jalokia, Scorpion, 7 pod.
And the 7 pot is also called 7 pot because you can use 1 pepper to flavor 7 pots of chili.
There's cinnamon whiskey in this also. Smoked ghost chili powder. Red Thai curry powder. And cumin.
All right.
It's warm.
Sounds good.
I didn't know there was whiskey in it. There's cider in it, too. Now, this is what I don't want on my lips, man. It's a nice meaty sauce, too. One of them real thick ones.
I think it's a good way to interview, like a dinner and conversation when you get the hots.
Some people enjoy it. Some people absolutely don't. The shots are a lot of fun, too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
My wife would never have agreed to let me do a shots-only show, so I figured we mix it up.
I would have never agreed to it either, so.
Well, hey, that's what works out, too, is,
Right.
It allows me to do, like I did, I interviewed Pico Colonel.
Yeah. So
He's only 19.
Below 21 crowd, too.
But how could you not want to do a show with the guy? He's fun, he's entertaining, he's brilliant, he's worked for Steemit. Can't limit myself to only certain types, especially just alcoholics only. That would be, we'd have to bring boxing gloves
Sounds
in.
like a good name for a show. Alcoholics Only.
What do you think is the largest way people waste money?
I'd say debt. I'd say usury. I'd say interest. I'd say when they want all these things from the fast food mentality, which is give it to me now, and if I got to pay more for it later, I don't care. And they pay 3 times as much as their house is worth to maybe hopefully own it one day. And if they mess it up and they only get 29 years of their mortgage paid off, the bank still owns it and they got nothing. They don't own their cars or their educations or the food in their fridge because of credit cards or their houses. Debt. By and large, absolutely. That's the biggest way that the average person wastes money.
I don't think I can argue with that at all.
I mean, taxes may be a second.
I'm not a fan of debt at all. We've, done, I think, a relatively decent job of not burying ourselves in debt. I think we have one more car payment, which is nice to finally have that paid off. The mortgage, but, that's a little different. Plus, I didn't buy the house that we're living in.
Yeah.
My wife did with her ex-husband.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'd want to be a homeowner in debt type homeowner. I'm one of those, I like to be able to pay for what I can afford. I'd rather just save up and then wait, and then you're going to get a better deal paying in cash anyway.
Right.
Well,
I think a lot of times if you save up the money for something first, maybe not a home, but then by the time you've got that much money in hand, you've had time to think about things more and other things. You may not even want what you thought you wanted before, and then you have options and possibilities rather than just... What I think is that a lot of times people spend way too much of their life, and even I came up with an idea for a debt calculator a while ago, where it's like if you seriously just took whatever your hourly wage is and however many hours you work in a week, and you figure out how much you're going to pay in just interest, and just subtract that many years off your life. Because you're losing pretty much that time.
Right.
Being away at work. And then calculate if you really want to take that step or not. Would you give up 5 years for that? Would you give up 3 years for that? Personally, I don't want to give up my life.
my teeth are starting to hurt.
Your teeth are?
Yeah.
Huh. Does that happen?
Yeah. Yeah, my teeth are. I'm at that. I'm almost there. Like, oh, fucking A, man.
Huh.
I'm like, I know. I'm one of those like, oh, thank God, there's only 2 left. And then I'm like, Oh, I can't believe
I was thinking we could do a bonus one afterwards.
Yeah, you were thinking wrong.
No, I think we should. I got
your
great
PR
idea.
guy did not approve that.
A great idea. We'll do a shot of hot sauce with the pepper I brought. We'll enjoy those, and I'll ask you a question.
Now wait a second.
We still got two. I can change my mind. These are probably horrible. This is going to be bad.
Well, let me mention this though. Is you did ask before coming up. You also asked since you've been here, but you asked before coming up if we'd all like to do a little quick interview thing for what you've got going on.
Okay.
I say instead of you changing the format of my fucking show, that we can go ahead and do that for you.
Okay.
On yours.
That sounds good.
Plus, that'll give me a minute. It'll
No,
give
that's
us
a
just a little
verbal
bit.
contract you've just entered.
I'm in. But at least this way, we get my thing out of the way. And,
Right.
we
Yeah, I
can
don't
have a
want
little
to
time to
screw up your show more than I already have. So
Yeah. Mad Dog 357, 25th
this is the one
anniversary.
people don't like, huh?
This is fucked with a lot of people. This made Richard Krill cry. This made Nate cry. This made Harley Mechanics cry.
When I smell it, it's like my lungs disappear.
This made Jacob cry. It used to be when the first episodes, it was the last sauce. Until I went and sat with the sauce guy and tried all this different stuff, and then I brought on this last one that's twice as hot.
Right.
It sucks a little bit. It's mean. I don't know what to tell you. This is the 25th anniversary edition of this, so it also has some extra added bullshit called plutonium number 9.
Sure. And decades worth of experience in hot sauce.
Yeah.
25th.
Yeah. They're go for it. You haven't even touched your water.
You want it?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I mean, you got your eggnog over there. I don't. I've said it before on other ones. I don't pretend I'm a Superman at this.
Right.
I suffer from acid reflux too, so I get heartburn from everything. So I mean, this is what I chose to do for a living.
That one's good. That's where I thought we were going to start, but that's good.
Oh, it's made very well. There's a lot of great flavor in it. Mm-hmm. It's fucking hot though.
There's heat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm. The other one hurt my teeth though. This one not so much. Who had the biggest impact on the person that you've become?
Well, the person I've become is completely opposite to the person that I was.
Mm-hmm.
And, in one word, that'd be Jesus.
Really?
Absolutely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, with anything, yep.
Yeah, I can't take that claim. I'm not religious at all. I went to Catholic school as a kid. I think it's actually probably what ended up straying me away from religion, to be honest with you. I went to
wouldn't doubt
Polish
that.
Catholic school.
Okay.
was pretty-
Polish Catholic is my family ancestors, heritage, that type of stuff.
St. Stanislaus Kostka. That's what I went to. And it was vicious.
Yeah.
It's probably why I ended up getting away from religion. For me, I think it's a toss up. My grandmother, not my biological grandmother, the mother of one of my mother's husbands, were very big in being a part of my life as a young child, and I think she had the largest influence on who I grew to become. But my wife and my family, and my kids, also had a huge part in who I am today.
Right.
I had a lot less drive when I was younger. I still have plenty of personal flaws. But it's a toss-up between my grandmother and my wife. It's like two different stages of life that I went through. Mouth is fucking hot, dude.
It is. Wish I had more eggnog.
All right, this is the last one, man.
More questions first.
Black Mamba. This is Black. You want me to do another question first?
No,
Oh,
we don't
okay.
need to stall.
Jacob needed me to. I don't fuck
Did you?
like you. Yeah, sure.
You did stall?
I didn't install. I just kept.
You
kept throwing him-
changed the
I
way
kept
you do
throwing
your
him
show for
questions,
him,
man.
but you won't.
The shit that was coming out of his mouth was worth seeing what the next card was going to make him say. I mean,
Sure.
there was some prime time stuff.
So this is the tiny bottle, though, huh?
Yeah.
And you need to show your ID to buy that?
I don't. No. I know. In some states they do make you sign a waiver for some hot sauces. We don't have that in Florida, so.
A free state. You hear that, guys?
It is what it is. Fucking A. One left. Let's do this, man. Stuff's warm too. It's a little bit less on here than I put on the last one, but
I see that.
you know. Cheers. Well, to be fair, it's another one. Ingredients are great. It's made with care. I mean, it's legit. It's just it's hot. Not ready for that question.
That one's supposed to be twice as hot as the previous one?
Yeah. Yeah. 357 is like 1.2, 1.3, and this one breaks in at almost 3. But I also didn't put as much on that as I did with the other one.
Right. Right.
You know, I knew I was going to have enough. Okay. So, told you these things are random. Taste buds. Sweet, sour, salty, bitter. If you had to remove one, which would it be?
See that? They don't even give removing spicy as an option.
It's just not technically a spicy taste bud, though.
I guess not. Sweet, salty. There's other taste buds.
Yeah, there's 4.
Bitter, sour. I'd go with I guess why not bitter, right? Yeah, maybe salty. I don't like a lot of salt on things, and even when I'm cooking, I try to just guess how it should taste before tasting any. And I guess, I do quite a bit of
Yeah, because this
wild edibles or foraging, and bitter can be a...
This isn't what would you never. This is what would you never want to know anymore. So you wouldn't if you got rid of salty, you would just never know if your food was salty anymore.
Right. So to me, the safest one is bitter, because
now-
there's certain plants that are bitter, and that's a warning: don't eat more of it, or you'll kill yourself. And I
Right. So
spend
then
a
why
lot of
would you
time-
want to get rid of that?
Right.
'Cause if you got rid of that, then you wouldn't know that had that bitter.
You're right. Get rid
See,
of
that's,
salty.
that's
Get
what
rid
I
of
was
salty.
getting ready to say. Like, I definitely want to get rid of bitter because there are a lot of foods that go when they go bad, they have a bitterness to them.
Sure.
Things like that. So if you weren't ever able to taste that, you'd put yourself in a lot more danger.
Yes.
Salty. I mean, I guess you could put yourself in a little more danger in regards to heart problems with salt, but in general, yeah, I think I agree with you. I would get rid of salty also.
Because sweet and sour they're fun.
Well, they're my favorites.
Yeah.
The 100%. Fucking A, man. My mouth.
That's why they make
is lit.
candy out of sugar, so it's sweet instead of salt.
Yeah, you can get rid of salt. I'm cool with that one. But yeah, that's you got to remember. Bitter. Can't get rid of bitter, man. It's a good warning sign on a lot of stuff.
Good. So now a shot of hot sauce and the pepper.
That's on your show.
Okay. Yours
This
is
is
fun.
this is the part we wrap it up, and I say, look, buddy, it was really, really great having you on.
Yeah.
I appreciate you making the trip out here.
Thanks for coming near.
Yeah. So yeah, it was nice. The trip wasn't bad at all. Everybody I got to meet on the trip was great. I've been looking forward to meeting you since I first, since we first started talking.
Sure.
Since you sent me your shirt.
I like yours too.
Well, technically it's yours too.
I designed it. but
Sort of. You
yeah.
came up with the idea.
Right, right.
And then it was designed for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. But you have one of my shirts.
Yeah, I do.
You've got the Breaking Bad style Steemit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew I was going to wear this one for you.
I like it.
Don't post for free, man.
That's-
Stupid. What do you think, man? What'd you think?
I think that was great. I think that was tasty.
Yeah, my mouth is hot. That's why I want to put off doing your little bullshit.
Yeah, it's After being things like pepper poker with shots of hot sauce every 5 hands and other things, it's hard to put yourself through similar. So this was good. It was tasty.
Fantastic. Everybody, thank you so much again for watching another episode of Hots or Shots. My guest today has been Papa Pepper. He's not hard to find on Steemit, so go show him some love. That's it, and I guess we'll see you all next week.
Look at the body. Pump it up a little more. Get the party going on the dance floor. Because that's where the party's at. And you find out.